Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Just acknowledge it, knowledge with no scholarships. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Breaking everything down, tech to politics. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. We don't tell you what you want, we just give you what you need. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. News, brews, and views from these Chi-Town streets. Topic Thunder.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, live to the planet. Welcome back to the program that we call Topic Thunder. Hey, my name is Brooks. His name is Ben. And folks, if you're here participating, you're in one place and one place only, the Thunderdome. That's what we call it, ladies and gentlemen. It's
over there for us. But yeah.
This way and that way, actually, for
it's
me,
also
right now,
down. I'm trying to keep it right down here as well. Yeah,
we're not trying to like, hey, down here, you guys are down here. It's not a good look. Maybe we should reconsider that for another show. But because our streaming software did an update and forgot to bring along the global chat option, we are limited in what we're able to display to you, the Thunderdome. Normally, this is a robust chat where people joining us from Facebook, from YouTube, from Twitch can see everybody else's comments and chats. We are still dealing with the affliction known as, oops, we forgot to bring that feature over to our new version. The feelers are out.
We'll get it eventually.
As they say in the business, the ticket is into IT. And we're hoping to hear a resolution very soon about that. But folks, you didn't come here to hear that. Welcome back to the program. This is actually Topic Thunder 125.
Wow, that's like an anniversary. That's almost an anniversary-esque. So yeah, coming up, we'll have to do something for 150. I think
you would think I would have done something for 100.
Uh-oh.
But hey, what did we lose? What?
We don't really. No. We're not really in the business of keeping track of that kind of stuff.
So. I mean, in a back end version, I sure am. But it's just whatever it is. And what this is, folks, is a conversation. And Ben and I fashion ourselves as info tenders at the Internet Saloon. And we welcome you all in. Biz is in the chat room right now. We got VIPs, very important parents, in the chat room right now. So thank you, one and all. Folks, here we go. This is actually a heat right now. I already had a 4-pack of this from over the weekend. It was that good, but I wanted to share it with you, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Space Monks. Oh yes, it's not only a really cool can, it's a kind of a delicious beer. It's Gigi approved. She doesn't hate it. Is the way she described it, which is a win in this guy's category, because I generally tend to like very bitter, not traditional beers. So this is from our good friends at the Chicago-based Mars Community Brewing, and they describe their product as a blonde pale ale that is highly attenuated. Trappist-style ales have a fruity, spicy yeast character, a spicy floral hop profile, and a soft, supportive, grainy, sweet malt palate. This ale is traditionally served with a billowy white head to demonstrate good lacing. This is a bit like Belgium's version of a German Pilsner. I don't have the proper glass, so we're not going to get too fancy about making a billowy pour. I do want to point out that for 12 fluid ounces, Ben, scroll down just a little bit just to kind of highlight the alcohol by volume is a solid 6.66.
Nice. There you go.
So, folks, as we open
to answer Ryan Hansen, unfortunately, marijuana is illegal in the state that I live in, and so I cannot partake in it like you Illinois people can.
That is, yes, exactly. There's however, you can visit you can visit a really good friend and friend of the show in Denton, Texas.
Exactly, and get some Delta 8 and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Who will hook you up with completely legal A cannabis adjacent product. Is that even? Are we allowed to even say
Yeah,
that?
I got some right here.
See,
Still.
some cannabis adjacent product in Texas, if you're in Texas, to abide, as the dude says. So, folks, without any further ado, there's a Space Monks for you right in the face, and
In the face.
there's no better way to start off the world's
Gigi
most.
gave it 4 bolts.
It's a 4-bolter. It's
a 4-bolter. That's we've just coined a new phrase, I believe.
Woo! Let me tell you something, Gene. Woo! The 4-bolter Space Monks had been to Space Mountain, and I seen amongst Gene. Woo! 4 space bolts. Woo!
Oh, dude, your Ric Flair's underrated.
Is it? Oh, because I previously spoke to somebody who occasionally shows up in the chat that said my Alfred Hayes was underrated.
Yes, sure. You got some good stuff that you do that I approve of.
This episode of Tropic Thunder has been brought to you by Space Monks by the Mars Community Brewing Company, Chicago, Illinois. All right, so there's my gimmick out of the bag, ladies and gentlemen. I'm for hire. But let's get to the most creatively named segment in all of podcast radio history. We call it Headline. Guess what? We cover the headlines. It's as simple as that. You may have seen the brouhaha.
Shut up.
Donnie
Shut
Brooke.
up. We're not starting this again.
What? No, I can't hear it, so it's cool. I could just talk right over it. The brouhaha, the Donnybrook, the dust up,
Exactly.
the brawl,
Please
the all, just whatever you want to describe it.
do. Yes.
But show us who you really are moment in Alabama along Riverside. That has which is all honestly a tragic and terrible moment. Not only Alabama history, which there's not much good there.
There's some comedy in this that you can find. There's definitely some comedy you can find in this along the way.
And we're going to cover that because that's one of the reasons I find this story fascinating is that that they're in the light of all of the terrible things that we know about our country's history in relations to, with people of color and specifically Black African American people. That this video, which again, I don't think I'm showing anybody in this chat room right now anything new. We're probably well aware of all of this.
If you haven't seen this yet, sit back and enjoy if you haven't seen it before.
It is what it ends up being parodied on the internet. This is kind of a bit of an action movie because it is.
This guy, this security guy, he held his own for as long as he could. But I think what's awesome is just watching everyone come to his defense. And then not only defense, and then here we go. Like he starts walking like, all right, motherfuckers, here we go. It is on. And yes, it wasn't a steel chair. It was a plastic chair, unfortunately. But yes, there is footage of a guy wielding a chair as if it were pro wrestling, which also, he was actually the co-captain of the boat. So the story is that these douchebags parked their pontoon boat in the exact same spot that the river boat was needing to dock. And
at the assigned spot where this is like reserved. This is somebody parking in your parking spot that you paid for and is specifically reserved for you. This is also, we have to point out, not the first time that this group of people, white people, have done this. But I'm sorry to interrupt you, but please go ahead, Ben.
No, you're fine. So for 40 minutes, the captain of the riverboat was on his PA asking these people to move their boat. And for 40 minutes, they basically said, fuck you. to the captain. So that's when this co-captain gets off and starts literally untying the boat to move the boat himself. And that's when all hell breaks loose. And these dumb white dudes just get absolutely everything that's coming to them and more. It's fantastic.
And we're not going to dive into this.
There's a meme that's come out of this where they've used like Avengers stuff and like the portal, like the Doctor Strange portal, and guys are just showing up because they're all lined up like the Avengers and they're gonna go fucking avenge.
Funny enough,
this fucking guy. It's so
Gigi
great.
actually sent me that stuff. Those links, they're all TikTok links, and now we have to create a Topic Thunder a TikTok because there's too much stuff out there, and I don't have the TikTok. I don't know the links. It got very frustrating. It was me
neither. I'm not on TikTok at all, so
I'm too old, and I should be on. If we were doing a internet show, we should. So I
did you know TikTok? Speaking of TikTok, I heard it recently on a video. I don't know how accurate this is, but TikTok has now passed Google as the number one source for getting information on the internet.
I wouldn't doubt it because the same way people just use whatever, I'm sure Facebook at one point became the most used search engine or MySpace. It just becomes like if there's a search bar and the most common social media app that you use or whatever app that you use, I'm sure that's where it is. I don't doubt it. It's a little scary considering it's completely controlled by the Chinese military industrial government complex. And is absolutely being used as a weapon against us. But hey, that's why I'm not going to use my personal email for it. We're going to use some generic.
Yeah, but we don't want to use. Exactly. Well, and you know what, and don't let that be used as an excuse. And this is where I came across this thing is because I'm not down with this idea of banning TikTok and censoring TikTok under the guise of the Chinese are going to get your data. Like that seems there's especially if it is where people get most of their information. That's a problem if we're going to start censoring that or limiting who can participate on TikTok.
I agree with you only because I want that same cautious and skeptical eye cast at the American versions of TikTok and other social media barons here in the United States, who we may or may not talk about later on in the show. But Ben, we referenced the real weird duality of this story, right? There's a terrible component to this story in Alabama, right? I don't know how else you describe the reaction from these white boat owners as nothing but racist. And the brawl that ensued is certainly not our best side.
Considering they were yelling racial epitaphs. Yeah.
They allegedly were racist. That's all we can say here without. But again, they are also allegedly independent. Like they own a mini mart or something like that. And we hope that business absolutely crumbles in the dust. We can say that here without slander or libel. But we hope those people are okay. And we allegedly think that they're racist. The weird dichotomy of the story is that there is a hilarious wave of internet memes and videos and takes on this that I don't know. Does it soften the blow of dare I say blatant racism displayed here, or does it mock the dare I say blatant racism on display here? And Ben, there's the next video is a little bit of a kind of a hodgepodge of the hilarity on the other side of this coin.
Yeah, I think I'll give my opinion now after the video. Let's check this out.
It's
Just
a long
do it.
one, so we don't.
The
have
Nike
to do this
slogan.
whole thing.
Like, what are you waiting on? Like, execution is key. Like, a lot of times we sit around and we have these ideas or we have these voices that we want to be heard, and we're sitting around waiting for people to put us in position. Why? When you can just do it yourself.
Let him get up. Let him get up. Let him get up. Fight back. Fight back. Say no more. 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 Say no more.
After witnessing my brothers and sisters take arm in the battle of my country, I knew that I had to be prepared myself.
Chair
Pulling
jitsu.
out old bits, I practiced my chair jutsu. I haven't used this skill in years, as the last time I used it, I sent 4 people to the hospital with concussions. Their brains turned to jelly. It's a daily skill passed down from hood master to hood master.
Hood master.
Baby daddy to baby daddy. It's a powerful skill. When thrown, the chair can cause riots and get the most sane person into a frenzy.
Billy Whack knows that.
Necessary.
Yes, indeed.
Ready.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite videos right here. Them pulling their asses off the boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Aquaman.
This is great. I'm telling you. He swam to deliver food. Why is this funny? Michael B. Phelps is the best.
Yes, Bree, we were just talking about the Avengers Assemble meme. So great.
We did, Bree. Trust. And shout out to the writer and creator of the Cha Cha Slide, who just passed away too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Died too.
Yes.
DJ. Yeah. Oh, I love the internet.
Right, but isn't this weird? Like, this is
I don't know
terrible.
if it's weird.
Do you
It's
know
a
what
terrible
I'm saying, though?
situation, but okay, yes, I know exactly what you're saying, but at the same time, like I'm okay with, I guess, how do I say this without sounding weird? I'm okay with black people having fun.
There's
with
a
this.
way that okay there, all right, for that is a very fair way to kind of say it, right? Nobody, yes, but nobody died is not a great way to kind of
Correct. It's still a
look
horrible
and
situation.
dissect the situation, right? It is a catharsis is a really good way to kind of describe it. It is just a shedding of the terrible, and what they're actually kind of all right, okay, so they're exposing something by shining the light of humor and ridicule on these the these people.
Oh my god!
Jedi shit.
Is that a chair from yesterday? Oh god!
A little skippy for me too, sir.
Is it? Oh man!
I think the internet's weak today, to be honest with you here.
Yeah, our internet connection sucks balls today.
Yeah.
So.
Mine's usually pretty good, but I think it's a little. I turn my phone off so it's not sucking up Wi-Fi and that kind of stuff. But yeah, internet might be a little sketch right now.
We apologize in advance.
Yeah, absolutely apologize.
But okay, so you get an idea of what the internet has been doing with this thing. I think that's where I stand. Like, I don't know if the roles were reversed and it were white people that the roles in the entire thing were reversed, right? If I would feel as comfortable. And I don't know why, and I don't know what that means about me, and I don't know what that means, but that's how I just immediate reaction feeling about it. And I don't know if that's the right way to look at it, the wrong way to look at it, or what.
That's an interesting like polarize it, right? Flip the racial scales at that point.
Right.
That's an interesting point and discussion. Why don't we kind of put that in a manila folder?
Just something to think about and chew on. And in the comments, let me know in the Thunderdome what you guys think. If I'm out of line there, or if I'm looking at this the wrong way, and I may be wrong to say that and think that and feel that, and I'm open to that it's not the right way to look at it. But on some level, I'm okay with black folks having fun with this and feeling like this is one that they can kind of puff their chest, stick their chest out about. Like, their community rallied to the defense of someone else in their community,
and many other communities also. Like plenty of us. It's an embarrassment for a very, very small portion of this country, of humanity in general, and it's painful that to watch people who look like us, Ben, assume that they're going to get away with it, because why else would you do that? And assume then that law enforcement or whatnot was going to protect you, and that again, the biggest thing, Ben, with people who look like us is no fear of repercussions.
Yeah,
none.
Yeah, they sat there for 40 fucking minutes and didn't move that boat because they knew that in the end they could just wait it out and they weren't going to get in any real trouble. I guess I don't even know what their end game was, because the cops were going to come and they were going to make them move the boat anyway. Even if the cops end up coming, if you wait for the cops to come, right? They're still going to make them move the boat. They're not going to fight the cops.
What if this was Florida and there was a stand your ground law, where if that's your property, something you paid for, something that you kind of you own, what if you consider that breaking and entering? You're hey, I'm giving you 45 minutes now. Get the hell off my property. Bang, bang, shoot, shoot.
It does. That's a whole nother can of worms, man. Stand
now
your ground laws allow that whole situation to be very, very different. Yeah.
It's a very fluid conversation. It's a very racially sensitive conversation that we have to be aware of. But to be honest with you, like there's one group of people who are clearly in the wrong, no matter how you slice that. That is whether how they behaved given the situation, or the fact that they were simply basically trespassing like a bunch of assholes. Somewhere they shouldn't have been. They weren't rightfully able to dock there, but decided to do it anyway. And and ignored the rightful owner of that docking space for 45 minutes. Just put it in perspective before we move on to something even more terrifying. That you're trying to park in your garage and somebody's like square angled perfectly in the middle of your driveway without your permission and won't move their car for 45 minutes. And then it comes to blows.
Yeah,
You'd lose your shit.
The whole situation is crazy that it happened.
It
yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, of course. It's so bizarre that it even happened. It just, I'm glad that there's some humor that could come out of it that kind of, I guess, takes the edge off of it a little bit too. And I think
that's a good way to say it.
The catharsis of it is that's an outlet rather than going out and protesting and for all rioting. This is another way of an outlet that allows them to express themselves about this situation without any sort of violence or property damage or confrontations, more physical confrontations, potentially, all that stuff.
And speaking of all of that other stuff, we have another video to show you. Unfortunately, it's a news story from our good friends at the BBC.
I didn't get that one.
Oh no, really? The worm? Yeah, ancient worms?
Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Folks, when I tell you it's been a major a deep vein of this show, that really nothing good comes from Russia.
Correct.
Exhibit 372.
Do we need the audio, or do you want me to mute the audio while it plays?
Nope. The BBC will do it more justice than I ever could.
Got it.
These worms, known as nematodes, have been frozen in time. 46,000 years they existed in a state between life and death, until scientists collected them from Siberian permafrost and sparked them back to life.
The fact that alive nematodes were found and these nematodes could live for viable generations was, of course, a big surprise for us.
I think it's a great possibility for us to understand what life is, because it's possible to stop it and to restart it. It appears that there is another...
Oh no, what do we do?
Uh-oh. The internet is weak today, my friend.
Fucking internet.
This is why we needed infrastructure week.
God damn it.
So,
all right, we get the idea, though, right?
Surmise that they thawed out a 46,000-year-old worm, brought it back to life, and all of a sudden, this worm is also now pregnant.
Jesus.
Now, it begs a couple different questions.
What?
Why the fuck did you do this? What? It's 2023. We are coming out of a pandemic.
Yes, this seems like such a terrible idea.
Ultra hyper awareness of weird microbes and things that we can't see floating about us in our everyday lives, and you decided to do what? Second of all, it's from Siberia, folks.
This is such a bad idea. We've said this before. Yeah, and you've talked about this before, Brooks. My bad.
No.
All over each other.
Are we? I think there are some delays. There are some serious delays here. That's kind of where we are. I just say that there are no more harsher environments in the world than Siberia in Russia. The permafrost is miles deep, has been for centuries and generations. The fact that they decided to wake up a 46,000-year-old, which predates our even most radical ideas of when our version of humanity and civilization sprung about. And those most radical of ideas date back only about 12,000 years ago. to wake up a worm.
Yeah.
That's 46,000 years old, so 3 times the 3 to 4 times, I guess, if you want to look at it. Older than us, what we have zero knowledge of in our immune system of what it might be carrying. Our genetics have no idea how to adapt to such a pathogen should one exist. Russia has hacked our internet. Thank you, Ryan Hansen, for pointing, or Bree for pointing it out. They invade the Thunderdome often. So maybe I don't know. Is it the videos that we try to show that slow us down? I don't know. Maybe
I think it is. I think it's the videos are fucking us over here a little bit. So
that sucks because it's a good day for videos. So I guess we should just move on. There's a little bit of a palate cleanser here. A little bit. As from WGNTV.com, car was intentionally crashed into second floor of Pennsylvania home, authorities say.
There's a video, but we're not going to play it.
We're not going to play it. This is
you can see kind of up there at the top what's going on there.
Mifflin County, Pennsylvania. Hello. A driver is facing charges after authorities say he intentionally crashed a car into the second floor of a Pennsylvania home over the weekend. No, this is not a lightning round story.
Yeah, this could have easily been a lightning round. I like that we're stealing lightning round stories.
This is too good. Too good, right? Shortly after 3 p.m. on Sunday, Junction Fire Company said it was called to assist the Decatur Volunteer Fire Company with a reported vehicle accident on Alfaracata Road in Decatur Township, just about 120 miles northeast of Pittsburgh. Upon arrival, responders found a vehicle that had crashed into the second floor of the home. The driver had already been removed from the car, according to the spokesperson for the fire department. The driver, identified by Pennsylvania State Police as a 20-year-old Evan Miller, was transported to a nearby hospital with undisclosed injuries, and honestly is probably an asshole to x-ray. 3 people were inside the home when it was hit. Authorities have not said if any others were injured. According to Junction Fire Company, Miller appeared to have been traveling at a high rate of speed and veered off the road into a field. There was a change. Let's highlight this next sentence. There was a change in elevation between the field and the house. Because of this and the high rate of speed, the vehicle became airborne before hitting the house.
How do they know he intentionally did it, though?
According to state police, charges pending include aggravated assault, reckless endangering another person, criminal mischief. Look at that picture. That's criminal mischief, ladies and gentlemen. Investigators believe Miller acted intentionally, although they have not explained a motive.
That's incredible.
That, I don't know.
It's a shocking picture to see. You're like, that. How does that even happen?
So, broken down. Dude traveling at a high rate of speed veers off into a field. There's a hill between the field and wherever
he just fucking launches.
He fucking hit the ramp and found himself in the second story of this house. But for some reason, they say it was intentional.
Yeah, but they don't know why. They think investigators believe it's intentional, but they don't have a motive. So what leads them to believe one without the other? If there's no motive, they don't know what the motive is. How do they know it was intentional? He's probably dating the girl or something. He's 20-year-old kid.
20-year-old Evan Miller.
Yeah, it sounds to me like he was dating the kid and maybe the parents weren't happy with that idea. And he was like, well, I'll show you. And drove his fucking car to the second story of their fucking house.
Fucking dirt ramp. A natural berm that was just there.
Yeah,
like, we've all seen these. right? We've all been through like newly constructed subdivisions or whatever, where there's those ginormous dirt. That's what this sounds like.
Have you ever seen the video of the Tesla that takes that hits the road that takes off? It hits like it's in like a neighborhood.
No,
hold on.
I will pay extra to make the internet work smoothly to show that video. But yeah, it totally sounds like this dude knew the berm, knew where he could, veered off into a field. I think that's the critical part of the story, is that he veered the car off into a field.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, I'm really trying to draw this one out.
I know. Hold on, it's worth it.
Hello. Yes.
All right, check this out.
In Los Angeles, look at this video. A Tesla flying through the air. It's gone viral. The Tesla Model S. The driver is speeding uphill, then launching over a steep downhill street in an LA neighborhood. It flies, then crashes to the road and hits two parked cars. Jordan Hook owns one of the two cars that were hit. He wants the police to do something about this.
Took out some trash cans and then took out my blue Subaru back here.
Of course you have a Subaru.
You know, getting a ton of fame and getting money from the videos and stuff, and it just seems like it kind of sets a bad precedent, leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
He does look first of all, he looks exactly like the guy you would expect to own a Subaru. Yes.
First of all, if that was the damage to your Subaru,
and I fucked up our stream for a minute to do it. It was worth it.
No, honestly, if that was the damage to your car, he did not take out your Subaru. Just saying, I assume your name is like Kirk or something like that. But yeah, I don't fault.
Yeah. Apparently Ryan Hansen giving us the 411 there was nobody in that car. It was on autopilot. I don't know that it would do that, but
what?
Maybe.
Okay, so maybe that one needs.
I don't think you could do that. That would be crazy.
That would be like you'd have like the Batmobile then at that point, because if you could control the thing to like loiter or attack or something, like you have the Batmobile, especially if it's a Tesla. Like shit,
yes.
Fuck, that thing can seal up and nothing can touch it. As long as
I don't know that was on autopilot. Oh, he was in the passenger seat. Maybe I don't know. That seems unrealistic to me, but.
Or it's just another example of a stupid human trick. Anyway, speaking of stupid human tricks, Ben, have you heard about this concept of Ron DeSantis wanting to? Yeah.
Speaking of stupid humans,
let's
talk about Ron DeSantis and Trumpy.
We are having internet issues, man.
We're back on it. It takes a second, but I think we're back now.
Okay.
Once the video fucks everything up right now. So that's the last video we're going to play today, I promise. But I think we're back.
There is a concept out there, folks, that for some weird reason, the governor of Florida and the governor of California are going to debate each other for no other reason other than to debate each other. And really, let's be honest with you at this point, it's basically a dick measuring contest. No doubt, right? However, if you were to square up the opponents, and Ben, I'm not a betting man, you are.
Sure, yeah.
If we were to square up the opponents here between Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis in a debate, I think the handicap would be pretty steep. Uh-oh.
I would have to go with Gavin Newsom on that. Although I'm not a big Gavin Newsom guy, I'll be honest. But I would have to give it to him, yes.
He's screaming entitled swarmy asshole. But
Gavin Newsom, yes.
Oh, yes, but he gets it. And he is actually a very smart and intelligent man. I'm not saying Ron DeSantis isn't a smart, intelligent person, but on the scale of you have people skills of a roller skate versus you have the people skills of a polished politician, I think Ron DeSantis fits the mold of the roller skate. He's terrible with people.
Yeah, and it's hurting him already because I just happened to see Chris Christie was on the CBS Morning News this morning, and I happened to catch out. It was either yesterday or today, and he had mentioned that in the polls, right now the latest polls like Trump 34%, DeSantis 13%, and Chris Christie at 11%, and that's up from like 2% the last turnaround for polling. So Chris Christie, interestingly enough, as the like voice of reason, wildly enough, of the Republican Party, he is seeming to gain a little bit of traction. It certainly is on the heels of Ron DeSantis. And the Trump thing is an aberration, and we don't even know that he's going to be able to run because he's going to be so swamped in lawsuits because Georgia's about to hand down some shit to Trump that is going to take up a lot of his time. If the shit that he's already got on his plate doesn't take up a lot of his time.
We may legitimately be approaching, because of Georgia, 100 federal indictments against a former president.
It's incredible, dude.
And
they have like what's it? I know we're kind of veering off here a little bit, but they got audio like of his voice. Like, so there's no like
all I need
deniability.
You to do is find 10,780 votes. That's one more than we need.
Just find me the votes, he says.
On tape.
Not only that, but the January 6th stuff, they've got him on tape.
So there's
and the document stuff at Mar-a-Lago, they've got him on tape.
I didn't put a story on here where Twitter apparently, whatever Twitter is now, blocked and delayed releasing the subpoenaed records for Trump's DMs, all conversations, all deleted tweets, the entire give me everything, which is what the Jack Smith special counsel requested by subpoena. And apparently the leadership of X, Twitter, whatever, Elon Musk delayed that so much that he incurred a $350,000 fine from the federal government for delaying providing subpoenaed evidence. Right?
Interesting.
When this guy really did the bidding of known fascists like Vladimir Putin or Viktor Orban of Hungary, it is a very interesting bit of, hey, why did that take so long? Anyway, the idea that Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis would discuss anything without Gavin Newsom absolutely skewering Ron DeSantis, the DeSantis group came up with some interesting, like, well, we won't debate you until we're going to skip opening statements and just provide a hype video. Have you ever?
Did you see the video of Ron DeSantis? Go ahead. I'm
sorry. No, go for it.
Yeah,
it sucks. This is terrible.
Have you seen the video of Ron DeSantis' interview with Megyn Kelly?
I specifically.
Did you see the interview with Ron DeSantis with Megyn Kelly?
No, not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay. I would play the video, but it would fuck us up more than we're already fucked up. But to paraphrase, she presses him, which Megyn Kelly, if you're not familiar, used to be on Fox, very right wing, very conservative. Is now, I don't even know where she's at now. She's on another network or on some streaming service somewhere. And she interviewed Ron DeSantis, and she really pressed him on what he did to Disney and using his political influence and basically calling him out and making him try to explain how he did not abuse his power because they spoke up against him in that whole situation. And she really pressed him. And his whole argument was that, well, the deal was a bad deal from the beginning, and we just finally looked at the deal. This made us look at the deal, and we decided this was an untenable deal. And she doesn't let that go. To his credit, I suggest everyone search it out. Megyn Kelly, Ron DeSantis, because you can see him uncomfortable and trying to answer the question without just outright saying, yes, I did this because they spoke out against my anti-woke policies. And that's what the crux. And she kept pressing, and he kept trying to dodge it and say, no, we just happened to, this spurred us to look at the deal. And the deal, when we looked at it, was just so outrageous that the legislature just couldn't let this deal stand anymore. And she goes, but the only reason that you looked at it is because they came out against your policies. And why would the American people not feel like you would do the same thing if you were to get into the office as president? And he really had no explanation for it. Ron DeSantis is quickly falling apart in front of all of us. It's amazing. He went way too far right. He got way too caught up in the woke thing because he's so far in the weeds on the woke thing that he can't even properly define what it is. And what he's fighting against is basically information being disseminated out to people that is truth. And he doesn't want that truth put out to children and young people. It's so incredible to watch this downfall, because it seemed just a few months ago like this guy was the shoo-in. He was going to be a shoo-in, and I don't know that he's going to beat Chris Christie in this thing.
Speaking of shoo-ins and speaking of debates, folks, let me take you back to the long ago, 2016, when somebody, a very divisive person, I guess, tried to warn us about something. It's a video. It's a video.
It is a video. What's going to happen? Are we going to, do we want to gamble?
Hang on. Yes, we need to, because it's 2.5 so minutes of some of the most important American history of all time.
Your running mate, Governor Pence, pledged on Sunday that he and you, his words, will absolutely accept the result of this election. Today, Ivanka said the same thing. I want to ask you here on the stage tonight, do you make the same commitment that you will absolutely, sir, that you will absolutely accept the result of this election?
I will look at it at the time. I'm not looking at anything now. I'll look at it at the time. What I've seen is so bad. First of all, the media is so dishonest and so corrupt, and the pile-on is so amazing. The New York Times actually wrote an article about it, that they don't even care. It's so dishonest, and they've poisoned the minds of the voters. But unfortunately for them, I think the voters are seeing through it.
There is a tradition in this country, in fact, one of the prides of this country is the peaceful transition of power, and that no matter how hard fought a campaign is, that at the end of the campaign, that the loser concedes to the winner. Not saying that you're necessarily going to be the loser or the winner, but that the loser concedes to the winner, and that the country comes apart for the good of the country. Are you saying you're not prepared now to commit to that principle?
What I'm saying is that I will tell you at the time. I'll keep you in suspense.
Well,
okay?
Chris, let me respond to that, because that's horrifying. You know, every time Donald thinks things are not going in his direction, he claims whatever it is rigged against him. The FBI conducted a year-long investigation into my emails. They concluded there was no case. He said the FBI was rigged. He lost the Iowa caucus. He lost the Wisconsin primary. He said the Republican primary was rigged against him. Then Trump University gets sued for fraud and racketeering. He claims the court system and the federal judge is rigged against him. There was even a time when he didn't get an Emmy for his TV program 3 years in a row, and he started tweeting that the Emmys were rigged against him.
Should have gotten it.
This is a mindset. This is how Donald thinks. And it's funny, but it's also really troubling.
Man, She tried to warn everybody. She, at the end of the day, everything she said was going to happen has
It's
happened.
very tough to see that.
And no point has the media on either side, honestly, acknowledged that she was spot on.
Nobody did a mea culpa. Nobody said, "Holy shit, you were right." And if they did, they
now we're all frozen.
Well, we brought up Hillary Clinton, so now we're really dealing with the Russians.
No, I think we're back.
So it's just a reminder that somebody was sounding the alarm. There were people saying the truth out loud way back when. And I dare you to prove Hillary Clinton wrong at that point. And say what you will about anything else. That's not what we're talking
she also said that that if she warned that if we were to have a true natural disaster or a big disaster, I don't know, like a pandemic, that he would be ill-equipped to handle that. And she basically laid out exactly how he handled COVID before he even did that. Like, it's so crazy. And it's so crazy to hear him talk about how the media was rigged at that point, because if anything, at that point, the media was rigged for him. The media is what gave him the platform over and over and over again. They invited him on every show because they thought it was entertaining that Donald Trump was running for president, and it would get people to tune in. So every network gave him free airtime over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
It's
so
also important.
It was rigged in his fucking favor at that time.
It's also important to point out that one of the main contributors to this was CNN at that time, headed by Jeffrey Zucker, who was also the executive of NBC at the time when The Apprentice was a ratings king for that very network. So all you had was, and hey, we've talked about the Hollywood strike. Imagine a Hollywood executive getting control of a news organization. What's most important to a Hollywood executive? Ad revenue and ratings. That's it. Not the truth.
We got so wrapped up in her emails. People got so wrapped up in that bullshit FBI, that bullshit the week before the fucking election. The reopening of the case. Oh, we're going to reopen the case. And then quietly, like 2 weeks later after the election, there was nothing there. And then we'd find out years later that the guy that was actually bringing that information to James, I believe it was James Comey at the time, was a fucking known liar and an asset.
Are you talking about Charles McGonnell, who was the head of the NYPD, not NYPD, but the New York, I think FBI district? Look up the name Charles McGonigal, folks. He just today actually pleaded guilty. You wish to enter a plea of guilty to I'll look at it. Just look it up. Look it up some other time because we're going to move on. But there's something rotten at the core of all of this Trump, Russia, Hillary stuff. We've been talking about it quite a bit.
And what we got, and what's so fucking frustrating, Brooks, before we move on, what's so goddamn frustrating is that now looking back in hindsight, the Supreme Court is now compromised because we didn't listen to Hillary Clinton. And because of that email bullshit, the future of this country is irreparably compromised because of what happened in 2000. And I'm guilty. I'm a guilty party of sitting out that election and not voting at all because I figured there's no way Trump is going to win. You can go back and watch. You and I were on the air that night with another in a past life, back on the old show. that night, and it was legendary for the fact that I was in just utter shock at what was happening as the results were coming in. Like, I couldn't believe it was happening, and we couldn't wrap our brains around the damage that would be done by everything that went into that election. 150 years from now, they're going to look back at the 2016 presidential election, and they're going to say, how did that happen? How did the American people allow that to happen? And there's no good answer. There's just no good fucking answer for it. We all got duped by a fucking con man. Not we all, but a large percentage, 80 million people plus, got duped by a fucking used car salesman. And I'm as a used car salesman. It's just,
I think,
God, I can't believe it happened. I just can't believe it.
Okay. This is a bigger discussion than this time, this segment kind of deserves. But I think in a lot of ways, many of us were already.
I know. I went off on a little bit of a tangent.
No. That's what the show's about. That's what being infotenders are about. You never know what kind of conversation is going to come when you sit up to the Internet Saloon. The idea that this is a long-term psychological operation against this country needs to be brought to the forefront. It didn't start with Trump. It didn't start in the 80s. It didn't start in the 70s. It started basically after World War II and really ramped up. And I mean, really ramped up with the succession of 4 major assassinations in a short period of time. And I'm talking about JFK, RFK, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King Jr. If you go back in time and you look at that succeeded after those 4 assassinations, clear assassinations. When's the last time we've had an assassination? Those 4 key assassinations. And you look at the bend that this country went after that, after World War II, where we built the expressways, we built the school system, and we built the unions, and we built the skyscrapers in cities. And there was this enormous growth in the country, but there was also an enormous voice that rose up from this country. And that voice was equal rights. Again, look, people of color weren't able to vote until the late 60s, right? That wasn't too far. That wasn't too long ago. That is in recent history. So I think if we kind of scale everything, if we scale our view back a little bit, it makes a little more sense that this actually happened in front of us. I don't think that type of perspective is taught enough. And that ability to critically think and remove yourself emotionally from a situation and kind of scale back and look at the totality of a situation is taught enough. We certainly don't discuss it enough in our everyday conversations because we're just topic of the day. Did you see this? Did you hear that? Did you see that? But we have to look back. We have to step back and see the path, the proven, the historical path that we're currently kind of on. Other civilizations, other countries, other nationalities, other nations, other nation states, other continents, they all traveled down this path. And I think it's a good learning experience. You could don't feel bad that you made poor decisions as a youth, or that you didn't even at the time of need step up. That's all we need right now is for people to just acknowledge that and be present. I guess that's a long way of saying, hey, did you see the AI assisted fire sprinkler system in China? Uh-oh. We are really laggy. Aren't we?
Yeah.
We are really laggy.
We are very laggy.
Okay. So
Yeah. Let's just plow through.
No, you know what? In the best interest of everybody involved, and I mean everybody involved, why don't we
just cut to the chase?
Why don't we just get to that thing in the sky?
I'm having a lot of trouble.
Look.
Hold on. Here we go. It's coming. Come on. Come on.
Just a little bit.
God. Dun, dun, dun.
And I
dun,
can't
dun, 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 dun. Maybe the people can hear it and we can't. Yeah.
I wasn't able to hear it before. I can't hear it now. It makes no difference. Hi, I'm Casey Kasem. My hair is on fire. I don't care. Here's the top 50.
Lightning bolts are
our people know. Our people know what's up, and you have entered the most dangerous portion of our show, where we literally shoot electricity into the Thunderdome. Why?
Yeah, it's just not working.
Why? Because 3 stories enter the Thunderdome. They're electrified. They fight it out, and 1 story enters, and we read that story, and that story is chosen by you, the people. So, without any dilly or dally, ladies and gentlemen, headline number 1. Snake fell from sky onto Texas woman, and then she's attacked by a hawk.
Oh my God.
Headline number 2. Italian patriarch crushed under cheese wheel avalanche. And headline number 3. Thanks, baby. She has brought me a new beer. Headline number 3. Joe Pasquale impaled in freak moose antler incident in Skegness.
Oh my God. This might be one of the most difficult lightning rounds we've had in some time.
Because it's animal centric.
Wow. Hold on. Let me hear those once again, because holy shit, there's a lot going on there.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah,
Headline number 1. Snake fell from sky onto Texas woman. She's then attacked by a hawk.
Talk about having the worst day ever.
Like you should have played the lotto. Right. Headline number 2. Italian patriarch crushed under cheese wheel avalanche.
Oh, God. That's of all the ways to go.
And headline number 3. Joe Pasquale impaled in freak moose antler incident in Snice.
I have to assume there's a picture involved with that story, and that may be what tilts me towards that story.
There's a picture of Joe Pasquale. I'll say that.
Okay, all right. Well, because I don't know that I can handle. I don't know that I can handle him being a picture of him being impaled
by moose antlers.
No, yeah. Biz is the first to vote, and he's going with number 1.
First vote in with number
worst
1.
Day ever. He wants to hear about that woman's worst day ever, and I don't blame him because that's incrable.
Yolanda.
Yolanda going with number 2.
Number 2.
All right, so we got votes from number 1 and number 2 in so far. Oh, alternate headlines from our boy. The Circle of Life, Wheeling and Dealing, and Death Mooses Up. Gigi's going to go with number 2 as well.
Oh, we got votes coming in
and
for number
Chris
2.
going with number 1.
We got votes in for number 1.
Ryan Hansen going to go with number 2.
All right. We votes are rolling in, ladies and gentlemen. I guess just one more time, just to kind of allow you to contabulate and put your thoughts into the old bozo computer and generate a vote. Headline number 1. Snake fell from sky on a Texas woman. She's then attacked by a hawk. Headline number 2. Italian patriarch crushed under cheese wheel avalanche. And headline number 3. Joe Pasquale impaled in freak moose antler incident in Skegness. Data from Brooks voting for number 1. We officially, folks, have a tie. I'm going to go back and count the votes to make sure because,
we haven't had to break a tie in a minute.
I want to make sure that we're accurately counting votes and don't get sued for faulty voting machines, which, Fox News found out. We can't pay out billions of dollars in damages.
Yes.
So everything we
rigged.
say is alleged. Number 1, number 2. Moose is up. Yolanda is voting. I think we have a tie here, folks. Jesus, this one is close. Yes. Well,
Jesus is a close one. Okay.
Yeah. How about that? This is that's kind of a winner right there. Biz with the quote of a show. Jesus, this one is close. I think, folks, you want to hear number 2, and so not that.
Yeah, let's go with it. Yeah, we got to hear about this guy that dies from a cheese avalanche.
Headline number 2: Italian patriarch crushed under cheese wheel avalanche. Grieving family rushes to salvage supply. The Chiapparini warehouse contained 25,000 wheels of cheese arranged on shelves. An Italian cheese maker died this week after thousands of cheese wheels fell and crushed him in his warehouse. Giacomo Chiapparini, 74, was checking over his stock Sunday night when a shelf buckled, dropping as many as 15,000 wheels of cheese on him in an avalanche. Each cheese wheel weighed 84 pounds.
Oh my God.
Firefighters responded after neighbors reported a sound like thunder.
Okay, I got to do the math on that.
The search for Chiapparini took 12 hours before authorities located his body, and presumably because it kept, to quote the great American rock band Limp Bizkit, kept rolling, kept rolling. The firefighters told AFP that they determined Chiapparini used a machine to rotate and clean the cheese wheels, which may have disturbed the shelf. An investigation will determine the full story of how the collapse occurred, but if an official believed the machine must have malfunctioned. The Chiapparini warehouse in Lombardy contained 25,000 wheels of Grana Padano, which is a hard cheese similar to Parmesan. The economic damage totaled $7.7 million in losses. We don't give a fuck about the old man. As if the loss of the family patriarch was not enough to grapple with, the family has to race to preserve what they can of their remaining stock. The cheese wheels have to remain in a climate-controlled warehouse, and the summer weather is enough to spoil the remaining supply if they are not moved quickly enough. Quote, the family, his wife, Angela, and his 2 children cannot understand what happened. Daddy got crushed by cheese. What's not
Dude, not just cheese. Hold on. I did the math on that. You said 15,000 wheels of cheese, right?
At least.
Okay, let's just assume that was it. 15,000 wheels of cheese at 84 pounds each.
That sounded like thunder from neighbors.
Why? Because it's 1.26 million pounds of cheese that crushed that man.
Okay, hold on.
1.2 million pounds of cheese.
1,200,000 divided, let's say 2,000 pounds is in a ton. That's 600 tons of cheese.
Jesus.
Jesus is correct. The family, his wife Angela and 2 children, cannot understand what happened, but we are now looking for some colleague willing to keep all the wheels, which otherwise would have to be thrown out. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the lightning round. You chose that story, and what? By gosh, that was fun, except for the dude crushed by 600 tons of cheese. we kind of do this every week, every Wednesday when mechanical weather or other elements prevent us from delivering you topic thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, you are the biggest part of this show. My name is Brooks. His name is Ben. We provide a network infrastructure for the Thunderdome, for you. Conversations is what is most important. The ideas that spark from here, the legacy of this show should be, I thought about something. That's all we want every Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, from the decks of the mighty USS Rapapa, I'm Brooks, that's Ben. It's been a pleasure. Next Wednesday, let's do it again.